Hey, thanks for joining me today. My name's Oscar, and I recently played This Strange Realm of Mine. Now, this is kind of a surprise of a game. I really didn't expect what this game actually is. So if you take a brief look at it, it kind of just looks like an early to mid-90s shooter. It's a little bit more than that. It's not quite just Doom or Hexen or whatever. You actually end up running into a lot of really interesting characters, and there's actually a fairly deep story going on, and a lot deeper than I thought. And there's honestly a lot of questions about mortality, the existence of consciousness, the concept of friends, all kinds of different things. And much of this is told through the different and varying characters that you encounter in the game. A lot more of this is also told through, honestly, the really impressive amount of different environments that you go through. When you start off the game, you begin in a very poorly lit dungeon and just looks like a corridor shooter. And then very quickly after that, you are transported to what looks like an urban sprawl that has gang warfare going on in it and just urban decay in general. And then you even jump to an area that looks like a very surreal, dreamlike thing with giant floating whales in the air that are spewing waterfalls and all kinds of crazy stuff. There's a very distinct and very cool look to the game, and it adds quite a bit. Now, I don't really want to get too much into the story, because if you're planning on playing the game, that's really the thing that you're going to want to see the most, and I don't really want to spoil any of that for you. But I'll give you the basics of the beginning of the story. Now, there's a very basic character creator, and once you create the character that you like, you'll just hit confirm, and then a very stark and large "the end" shows up, letting you know that you're dead. And then from there on, you'll actually run into the meat of the game, and there's a whole bunch of different gameplay styles that are honestly going on in the game that surprised me. I mean, there's the first-person shooting that you can see, there's platforming, there's even like some side-scrolling 2D stuff, and some more stuff that I'm not going to really mention because, again, that's something that you want to see for yourself. So in between these missions, you're actually going to end up in a hub world that is a tavern called Tavern Limbo. Now, this place does have a tavern keep, and this is where you'll actually bring back different characters that you meet and interact with them, which can vastly change the outcome of the game's ending, depending on how you interact with these different characters, or whether or not you even bring them back to the tavern. So, again, this game, it has kind of a serious storyline, but there's also bits of humor in it just to lighten it up, and some of the humor is actually fairly good. Overall, this game was a surprise. The gameplay's fun and pretty solid, the shooting feels good, the platforming feels good, and the other game types feel good too. It's got a pretty decent soundtrack if you're more inclined on the musical side. The story itself grabs a hold of you and makes you want to play more to see what happens next. The game itself isn't exceptionally long, where I believe I finished it in, I want to say, about 3 to 4 hours. However, I really enjoyed the game the entire time I played it. So if you enjoy old school shooters, pixel art, some horror, poetry, philosophical musings, and a whole lot more, do yourself a favor and check out This Strange Realm of Mine. It was a real joy to play all the way through, and I highly recommend it to just about anyone. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next review.